Hello, sweet friends. Welcome to this YouTube video. I'm going to yap about all of the events that I have been recording recently. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Julia. I am Bestie Cam Content. So I've been making content since June last year. I film it for other people, mainly for Instagram short form content, but also some long form content recently, which has been really fun to play around with. But I love watching videographers yap about what they record and the process of how they do it. I'm inspired by so many creators that I was like, I want to get on YouTube and I want to start producing longer form content. I just don't really know where to start, but I thought I would start here with a few of the events that I have been filming and a bit of the behind the scenes look into what I do when I film an athlete. So a little bit of context, I was not really filming sporting events, races, or athletes 3 months ago. It all kind of happened when I filmed the Huskisson Ultra for Megs, which was so cool to do. It was a 5-day event in Huskisson, so on the south coast of New South Wales. And basically I filmed everything Megs did from Tuesday to Sunday. I stayed with her and her partner at an Airbnb, and I was filming her in the morning. I was filming on a DJI Pocket Osmo because we had a documentary in mind for afterwards, a big wrap-up video of the 5-day event because she'd been training for it and it really meant a lot to her doing this event. So that's why she wanted to document it. And I was posting reels every single day in real time. So on the first day, she did a 5.7K swim and then a 90K ride. The second day was an 180K ride. The third day was a rest day. The fourth day was a half Ironman distance triathlon. And then the last day was a 63K run. So every single day I was filming on my phone and the DJI Pocket Osmo to create longer form content and also post in real time. I was editing on the go and she would write the caption for the reel that I created that day and it would be up that night. So I was filming and editing on the go every day for almost a week. And then we created the documentary that actually turned into a docu-series because of how much content I ended up getting. It was a lot because when you're filming someone's entire experience of a race that had a lot of build up, you want to capture everything. I want to capture everything, at least. I don't really ever want to get the bare minimum. And I also don't really like missing anything. And that's a big thing that I'm working on mentally is removing all of the pressure to get absolutely everything at all times, because it's physically impossible to be everywhere at all times. So sometimes I miss something and that's actually okay. So I filmed Megs' Ultra back at the end of March. I think that was a pivotal event to film that really got the ball rolling in terms of now I film athletes quite regularly or people that are doing events and been training for them for a long time. So from filming Megs, I got a message from Ben who had a sprint triathlon while we were in Huskisson, and I filmed that for him, which was so different to anything I've ever filmed because it was so much shorter, like a sprint distance, even though it's such a hard event to do. Not that sprint distances are easy whatsoever, but in terms of how long I have to get content, it's not very long in comparison to an ultra or a half distance Ironman or something. So yeah, that really tested me, and knowing a course as well is something that I have to get used to. But before I even talk about Ben's sprint, I want to talk about Chelsea's T100. I think this was when I had never filmed an entire triathlon from start to finish before. It was I had flown to the Gold Coast. My brother lives on the Gold Coast, so I got to see him. But I also messaged Chelsea because I watch her YouTube. And I was like, Chelsea, would you like content of this? I film stuff on my phone and I make it for social media. So if you would like a reel, I would love to film it for you. And she said yes. So I took a leap and took myself to the Gold Coast and filmed Chelsea's T100, not knowing the course, not knowing Chelsea either. I saw her the day before just so I could visually see what she looked like in real life. And it was so fun to meet her and just be with her family as well. Something I really learned from filming Chelsea especially is like, there's so much pressure on family members to film stuff, and that's not coming from the athletes. I think it's coming from just how proud they are of the people that they are watching, and they want to support, they want to cheer, they want to document it, but often that can be a really stressful experience to be everywhere at all times and be cheering them on, but also be capturing the moment. And when I could like tell Chelsea's dad, it's okay, I've got the shot, like I've got her coming out of the swim, when he was like not able to get to the front of the barrier and I was there at the front of the barrier, I could just tell him, it's okay, I've got the shot, and he didn't have to stress or worry. And that made me so happy to be like, it's okay, I've got you. Like, I would rather take the stress of spectating and filming so that friends and family don't have to be so stressed. So I filmed Chelsea's T100. She actually came second, which is crazy. I'm not surprised because she came second at Ironman World Champs last year. But I was just like, holy sheesh, she is moving and moving fast, moving so well. It meant that I had to be like on my toes going from Broadwater up in the Gold Coast down to Surfers Paradise where the race actually ended. So that was really fun to do. And then I filmed Megs's Ultra. I filmed Ben's sprint try, so different to everything else I filmed. And the swim was actually cancelled. So sometimes on race day, things don't go to plan. But it was really cool to film someone I had never met before. I'll admit it was harder to spot him in the crowd, like meeting him once right before the race was literally starting, and he was wearing all black. There was nothing really distinguishing about what he was wearing for me to be like, okay, like maybe his suit is red, I'll look for the red suit. Like, no, he was wearing all black. So that was really testing me. But it's what I loved about filming Ben's sprint try was that he really wanted footage of his family at the finish line. And so that is something that I got to just like focus on and prioritize. Like, all of the shots in his sprint try, they're a bonus and we love to see that content. But what was beautiful is his 3 kids and his wife waiting for him at the finish line and cheering him on and getting the moment when he crosses the line and he goes and hugs his kids. Like, where else are you going to get content like that unless somebody is like literally dedicated to filming just you? That is what I am here to do. It's so special. Those moments are so, so special. So I filmed Ben's sprint try, and actually a few weeks later I filmed Ben's Olympic distance triathlon, which is really cool. We did that in Wollongong, and I know the course way better in Wollongong. I lived there for a long time, and I went to World Champs last year to watch, and that was a bit of a full circle moment filming Ben's standard distance, because last year I had taken myself in October, a few months after I started Bestie Cam, and I was like, I'm just going to take myself to World Champs because I want to watch it. One day maybe I'll film someone do it. And yeah, 6 months later I was actually being hired to film someone do that course. So that was like a Jules, we did it. We did it. And yeah, that was really, really special. So cool to do. So that was fun. What was the next thing I filmed? I took myself to the Canberra Marathon one random Sunday in Canberra, and I missed Demi winning the marathon, but because I watched Demi's YouTube, so inspired by her, and she won Canberra Marathon, I actually saw her after because I went to watch my own friend as well. My friend Anna was running the half, and I happened to run into Demi, and I was like, should I go up to her and ask if she would like content? And she said yes. I just did it. And sometimes I can be like, people might think this is really weird if I go up to them and ask if they would like content, but you don't know unless you try, right? Like, the worst thing someone can say is no. So like, send the message, go up to someone, ask the question, because I swear, like, the best things that have happened this year have come from me just sending a message or like going up and introducing myself. Honestly, it's the best thing. So I filmed a bit of Demi getting her medal and made her a reel. Let's actually just go through what else I have filmed, because I lose track. I won't lie. That feels like so long ago, you know? Okay, so another race that I filmed recently was Amanda's Ironman 70.3. This was only like a week and a half ago in Western Sydney. And this was so fun, but also so rough to spectate. Like, I don't know if you've ever spectated a triathlon or just a running event, but you end up running around yourself, right? And Western Sydney was so spread out. Like, I like to put myself, like plant myself for content purposes, at turnaround points, or where like the athlete turns around because you see them twice within being in the one spot most of the time. And so I wanted to go up to the bike turnaround point. It was ages away. It was like 25-minute walk away. And I had a moment where I was like, I need an e-bike, or I need an e-scooter. Like, I need something to help me get around a course faster, because me and my feet can only last so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was rough and it was hot. And I know that athletes are working hard to do the race, but spectating, guys, it's not a drill. It's not a drill. So anyway, I walked up to the bike turnaround point after getting swim content and Amanda in the morning, getting ready, everything like that. And then walked back and I missed her getting from the bike onto the run, just because it's physically impossible to be in all of the places, right? But a story from the Ironman 70.3 is that while I was waiting for Amanda at the turnaround point on the bike, I had about 25 minutes from her coming out of town back in to the turnaround point. The pro women happened to run past at the same time. So I quickly whipped out my gimbal and was like, I'm going to run with the pro women because why not? Like, it was their last kilometer, I think, of the run. Like, it was actually so close to the finish line, which I didn't realize. But I ran with Natalie Van Corden, Ellie Salthouse, Regan for a little bit. And I was like cheering them on at the same time, but I couldn't keep up, guys, for longer than 100 meters. They were running at freaking 3-minute something pace, 4-minute something pace. I can't do that for a long period of time. So I ran with them for like 30 seconds each, and that was really fun. I ran with Penny, who I actually went to her panel a few days before that Ironman. And so when I was running with her, it was just really cool to cheer her on for a little bit. And then, yeah, so I ran with the pros, got some content of that. Absolute slay. I swear, like, whenever I'm spectating and filming a race, so much divine timing of like where I happen to be at the right time. And I just like trust in that. Whenever I'm worried that I'll miss the shot or that, you know, I'll miss my athlete, I'm just like, it's all in divine timing, Jules. It's all meant to be. It will be as it's meant to be, you know? So running with the pros, I was just like, this is freaking sick. This is so cool. Like, what the heck? And then a few days later, I actually happened to film Penny. Crazy. So I ran into Penny after the 70.3, and I have watched Penny's YouTube for so long, and I actually commented on it. Maybe I'll go find the comment, but I commented on it ages ago thanking her for her REDS content, because if you didn't know, Penny's doing a PhD about REDS, which is so helpful for female athletes out there in the world, and male athletes too. But I commented on her video, so I knew that she was making YouTube videos, and we'd been talking on Instagram, and I went and filmed her session last week. So I since made a YouTube for her, and you can go watch that now, which I honestly, like, every day I'm like, Jules, how is this life? Because I was not doing this even 3 months ago. I feel like athletes are such incredible human beings, and they deserve, like, whenever you have a race, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a pro at all. Like, if you are training for a race, you deserve to document the journey and the race day. Like, it's so monumental. And I say that like from experience too. I trained so long, 10 months, to do an Olympic distance triathlon last year. And I wish there was more content creators for races in the world, because I would have hired a content creator for my race to follow me around. And I actually did message one, and it just didn't work out. So cool to be able to do this for people. And what's coming is I'm filming James this weekend. He's going to do UTA 100, which is going to be wild, so different for me. And I'm going to film Ironman Cairns as well. I'm going to go to Cairns in about a month's time. So it's all happening. It's all happening. There's some stuff in the pipeline for later on in the year, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited by just what I get to do. And yeah, I feel like this is just the beginning. Thanks so much for watching this YouTube video, guys. If there's anything you want to see, please leave a comment below. If you have a race coming up, or yeah, you have a big event coming up, let me know if you'd like content. It's actually quite funny, since I've been filming athletes a lot in the last 6 weeks, and a lot of my content I've been sharing on my Instagram, which is where I post all the content, is predominantly athletes and races. I've gotten some messages being like, are you able to do branding shoots still and like events? And yes, I do those still. I just love capturing people's memories, to be honest. Like, I don't want you to be I love to capture the things that are hard to capture yourself, you know? And yeah, that's just what I do. So love you all so much for being here. If you want to see any of the content I've been making, please head over to my Instagram. Would love to see you there. And send me a DM if you've watched this far. Comment below. Like, subscribe. Love you all so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my gosh. Today, you know what I'm doing today, guys? I'm going to buy SD cards. Brace yourselves. Crazy activities. Yeah, it's going to set me back a mortgage. Show you all my goggles real quick. Brand new. Straight from Amazon. Because I don't know what goggles to get. I feel like they're a risky move, you know? And like spending $60 on goggles that I'll wear like once. Wow. Camera skills, everybody. I look so fun.